You can spot new money from a mile away, the flash, the frenzy, the proof. But old money? It hides in plain sight. It drives the same car for 10 years, eats at the same restaurant, tips quietly, and never explains itself. That's the paradox. The richest families often look the most ordinary. While others chase appearances, they protect invisibility. Their habits don't scream status, they whisper control. It's strange, isn't it? People spend their lives trying to look wealthy, while those born into it spend theirs learning how not to. There's a psychology behind that. Centuries of conditioning that teach. Wealth isn't meant to be seen. It's meant to be sustained. You might pass by someone like Edward in a cafe. Worn leather wallet, old watch, quiet posture. You wouldn't know he owns half the block. Because that's how he prefers it. The more invisible he becomes, the freer he feels. That's the quiet truth about old money. It doesn't chase validation, it builds endurance. By the end of this video, you'll understand what nobody tells you about old money wealth psychology, the invisible patterns, emotional restraint, and quiet values that separate the calm from the restless. Because real wealth isn't about having more. It's about needing less. Principle 1, the psychology of invisibility. Edward inherited a family business worth millions. When he took over, he removed his name from every public record possible. No articles, no interviews, just operations. If people know what you have, he said, they'll decide who you are. His anonymity became his armor. Old money values privacy as power. They understand that visibility attracts noise. Noise brings judgment, and judgment leads to reaction. Every reaction drains focus, and focus funds generations. Invisibility is control. The fewer people who can see your moves, the harder it is to stop them. New money wants to be recognized. Old money wants to remain untraceable. You might think invisibility sounds lonely, but to them it's luxury, to walk through a world that doesn't demand performance. When you stop performing, you start protecting, not just your assets but your peace. The next principle builds on that same calm, controlling not what happens but how you respond. Principle 2, emotional minimalism. Margaret's grandfather lost half his fortune during a market crash. When everyone else panicked, he made tea and read by the fireplace. You can't lose composure faster than capital, he said. He didn't sell. He didn't shout. He waited. 2 years later, the market returned, and so did his wealth. Old money doesn't just manage money. It manages emotion. Emotional minimalism isn't suppression, it's discipline. It's the quiet strength to act from reason, not reaction. Most financial mistakes begin with emotional overdrive, fear, envy, or the need to prove something. Old money avoids them by mastering stillness. They don't see calm as weakness. They see it as insulation. Every outburst costs energy. Every impulse costs equity. When markets fall, they don't panic. When competitors flaunt, they don't chase. Because they know, emotion clouds vision. And blurred vision ruins fortune. Emotional control is wealth's first defense. It protects decisions, relationships, and reputation. Once you master it, you see time differently, not as pressure but as leverage. And that's where patience becomes the architecture of empire. Principle 3, the architecture of patience. Thomas's family estate took 3 generations to build. Every decade, they added one property, one business, one ritual. We don't rush the roots, his father said. Patience compounds quietly. It doesn't shout results, it layers them. Old money doesn't chase opportunity. It cultivates rhythm. They understand what most can't. Speed creates fragility. Time creates strength. In a world obsessed with immediacy, patience is rebellion. It's also one of the most profitable skills alive. They don't need to time the market. They become the market. Because endurance, not intelligence, sustains wealth. When you stretch your timeline, risk becomes irrelevant. You don't win by guessing better, you win by lasting longer. Time is the quiet multiplier most ignore. And every patient decision creates something that lifestyle can't buy: legacy. Principle 4, legacy over lifestyle. Caroline's family still uses her great-grandmother's silverware. The edges are softened by time, but the meaning is intact. It's not about cost, she said. It's about continuity. Each piece carries a story, proof that restraint outlasts novelty. Old money measures success not by consumption, but by continuation. Legacy is emotional wealth, the reassurance that values outlive trends. They see ownership as stewardship. You don't just hold wealth, you hold responsibility. Their greatest pride isn't luxury, it's longevity. Every generation inherits not just assets but discipline. They don't flaunt their inheritance. They protect it for those who'll never meet them. You don't preserve legacy by saving money. You preserve it by remembering who it's meant to outlive. That's why their next priority isn't appearance, it's education. Principle 5. Education as an investment, not a decoration. William didn't go to a prestigious university. No famous crest, no elite clubs. Just a school that specialized in financial systems. It's not about the name, his father said. It's about what you can do after. That single decision built him a network that would later fund his first company. Old money doesn't treat education as decoration. They treat it as strategy. While others chase diplomas for display, they chase understanding for endurance. Because comprehension, not credentials, compounds forever. Knowledge is a form of liquidity. You can pass it across generations without taxes, inflation, or loss. They buy competence, not clout. Every conversation becomes a lesson. Every setback a class. They don't pay for prestige, they pay for perspective. Education is what turns inheritance into innovation. And education, when repeated long enough, becomes the daily habit that defines them. Restraint. Principle 6. The ritual of restraint. James earns 7 figures. But he lives on half. His friends laugh, calling him stingy. 2 years later, when markets crash, they ask for advice. His restraint built a fortress. Old money knows that restraint is refinement, not restriction. Every dollar unspent is a seed for sovereignty. They don't fear missing out, they fear dependence. Restraint isn't deprivation. It's quiet direction. Every no is a yes to something permanent, stability, peace, longevity. While others chase excitement, they master repetition. Because consistency outlasts charisma. True wealth is not in what you acquire. It's in what you decline. And when restraint becomes second nature, discretion follows naturally, the art of remaining unreadable. Principle 7. Discretion as a currency. Elizabeth grew up believing her family was modest. Small home, simple vacations. Only years later did she learn they were multimillionaires. It wasn't a secret. It was a choice. Discretion protected them, from envy, from exploitation, from expectation. Old money knows, privacy is not paranoia, it's protection. Every word unspoken guards value. Every appearance avoided buys safety. Discretion compounds trust. People confide in those who don't broadcast. Their silence isn't shyness, it's strategy. Because not everyone deserves to know your balance, financial or emotional. The fewer people who interpret your life, the freer you are to live it. And that freedom brings clarity, a reminder that wealth without purpose is directionless. Principle 8. Purpose before possession. Henry turned down a luxury development project. It promised massive returns but conflicted with his family's ethics. Money without purpose, he said, is just power without peace. Old money earns with alignment. They don't collect, they curate. Purpose simplifies life. It filters noise. When you know what you value, you no longer chase what others flaunt. Most people define wealth by what they can buy. Old money defines it by what they can refuse. Direction multiplies value. Distraction dissolves it. Purpose converts success from accumulation into serenity. And once purpose becomes clear, the attachment fades, making room for something rare, detachment. Principle 9. The elegance of detachment. Amelia's family sold their ancestral mansion when upkeep became a burden. People whispered, "They've fallen off." But her mother smiled and said, "It served us well, but it's not who we are." Detachment, that's elegance. The ability to let go without losing self-worth. Old money treats possessions as temporary, not personal. They don't cling to wealth. They steward it. Detachment keeps them light, mobile, and mentally free. They understand that ownership, when worshipped, becomes a cage. You don't have to keep everything you can afford. Freedom isn't the power to hold on, it's the grace to release. And when you can let go with dignity, you're ready to give with purpose. Principle 10. The dignity of generosity. Oliver's family funded scholarships for decades. No press, no plaques, no photos. Just quiet continuity. "We don't give for credit," his grandfather said. "We give to stay human." Old money gives quietly because it understands this truth. Generosity stabilizes the ego. Giving turns money from mirror to mission. They don't post donations, they plant them. To give without being seen is the highest luxury. It means your worth no longer depends on witness. Money that circulates creates meaning. Money that stagnates becomes vanity. They give not to prove abundance, but to practice it. And when generosity becomes habit, wealth transforms into peace. Old money's secret isn't inheritance. It's intention. Their real wealth isn't stored in vaults, it's stored in values. They know money amplifies identity. That's why they build character before capital. Their homes may be quiet, but their influence echoes for centuries. They measure success not by lifestyle but by longevity. Their goal was never to look rich. It was to stay free. Because freedom, the ability to move without fear, to act without applause, is the ultimate currency. Silence protects it. Patience multiplies it. Legacy preserves it. In the end, wealth isn't about what you show. It's about what you can walk away from with peace still intact. Because real wealth doesn't shout. It whispers, through discipline, purpose, and time. It's not about becoming someone impressive. It's about becoming someone untouchable. Someone calm enough to remain invisible and still win. If you believe true wealth begins in silence, comment legacy below. Subscribe and walk the quieter path toward wealth and self-mastery.